What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, boys and girls of all ages? I am Darko Sinner, welcoming y'all back to the council. I know it's been like a month since I last recorded anything. Just to kind of give you guys what's been going on. Just lots been going on with me. I've just been trying to actually I went out of town. Last weekend, I went to a MTG convention, which is Magic the Gathering, over at Roanoke. I got to play it in the 3-day tournament, and it was really fun, super exciting. A lot of really cool stuff happened there. And also, I've just been trying to get back into the swing of things and stuff like that. So actually, that was pretty much just the big thing. Is I just went out of town, really been able to get back into the swing of things. But right now, I think what I'll do is we'll get back into the swing of things with this, and then probably another video that's soon to follow. So there's going to be a lot of fun and exciting things coming your way. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the content. Without further ado, enough of my bullshit. Let's do this shit. Onward to the council. I do believe in my previous engagement, we were able to discover all sorts of oh, what the crap is my words? We were looking for the investigation behind Elizabeth's murder. I believe Elizabeth was, and we were able to detect clues and different things like that. And I really don't have a solid suspect right now, but we will see how this conversation progresses. Let's see. I probably should have done a thing.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
Alright, I do not have a
Will you remind me of the facts we already know about?
Elizabeth Adams was killed last night, but Piaggi was with Holm and I until late at night. As for Bonaparte and Washington, they left us after midnight, both tired.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political...
I didn't mean to make that decision.
Conference,
damn it.
I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
Oh, well, the whole reason.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Yes.
I'd like to answer the cat, but unfortunately I'm increasingly worried that she's in fact the mouse.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him, because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake in a war, but rather to make Monsieur Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play, and I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
The dealer was called von Burchard. As for the buyer, he was unknown to us.
Interesting.
No, I don't know anything about that. There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
Maybe she found something out.
What do you mean?
My mother has a gift for investigating. If she had picked up a lead, nothing would have stopped her.
The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Interesting.
My mother must have undoubtedly taken great pleasure in these exchanges. She always was one to appreciate broadening her knowledge. I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Huh, are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the Third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, my lord, the Crusades are not my chosen field.
Well, it doesn't matter. You have plenty of time to learn. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on.
That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with.
What the
I need to
hell?
piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You
the
said that you
crap?
spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get
There's
someone to
another
open
guest
the
coming?
box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Very interesting. Lots of interesting information
just
there.
opposite Mortimer's study.
So that's really cool. So let's take a moment to discuss this for a little bit. So, so the premonitions were real, and then I just wonder. There's so much more to discover, though. But I really didn't mean also not to be able to give any insight into giving an accurate. Damn, I'm losing my train of thought. Forgive me. I was not able to give a person of interest for the case with the murder. Even though I'm apparently still arrested, I'm still unaware of where that takes us. I guess like the arrest got suspended because of Lord Mortimer. It could be many different things, honestly, at this point. But I wish I could have been able to like at least try to figure it out. But I'm actually glad I did that, though, because maybe we couldn't give. If we give too much of a false information, then that could come back to bite us. So maybe it was best that we stayed silent on the matter for a while. Again, forgive me for stumbling over my words here. We'll just have to freaking find where the 9 hells is the stairs. I think it was the upstairs thing. I'm trying to find that little area. The little area that leads to the upstairs. Upstairs? I didn't even know we had an upstairs. Whoops, right. Shout out to that movie. Anyways, let's fucking like figure out where the hell we're going. I've been wandering these halls for hours. 10 long years I've wandered these halls. And 10 more I shall wander again. Till my death. Getting that shaky can. Hope nobody has epilepsy. Please not getting epilepsy from my... What in the hell, Rob? Figure it out. Seriously, where is the tower? There should be like a path. Like there's like a little path that like shoots upstairs as you greatly entertained. So yeah, we probably just ran by the circle like a dozen times, but I think people understand what I'm trying to get at. Oh, there it is. Yay. No. Yeah. Oh. There's an alternate place. Alright, let's try everything until you can find out what the tower room is. Or maybe it's one of these rooms here.
Monsieur Jacques Perru. Monsieur Napoleon Bonaparte.
It's a French accent. I'm French. Why do you think I have such a French accent? Anyways, no.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Emily.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Poor Elizabeth, though. Brutally murdered by some asshole.
Huh, that's me.
It's me.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
I have a great suspicion I probably know There's some
President George
really
Washington.
sinister about Lord Mortimer, though, since we're on the subject. I'd really like to get to the bottom of it. I think there's a sinister plot here. There's a lot more that he's not necessarily allowing those people. But, you know. I wish they would give you more of a direction on how to go. It would be awesome. Find it, bird. Still not fucking. God, mother, where's it? Nope. I'm just gonna keep running up the doors until. Aha! Yes, it is the tower. We investigate.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says,
Ooh.
we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who
Have
could
to
she
find that
be
couple.
suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Faith, sword. Okay. Yes. Royal Jelly. Go ahead and make sure I get thrown in there, because I probably lose them later. Really quick before we investigate further, we really should make sure that we have plenty of things to go by.
St. Paul on the road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Look at that, yo. Examine the painting.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
It is a glorious painting. Most indubitably. Now, moving forward to this.
An old sesterce from Roman Gaul.
Already investigated that. And just over here.
Dante's Paradise.
Hmm.
Raise your head and be reassured. For what comes up here from the
What is this disc?
Okay. So the disc of what? Collector's coins, lost coins, and most money. Huh. So there's a little bit of collector's items there that we could probably partake upon. Sorry, I had shit there. Alright. Let's figure out more glorious things to figure out. Fine things. So far, I'm really enjoying the mystery of this game. It's been a lot of fun playing this. I like how they're adding little RPG elements and stuff like that into the Telltale game, and it's just a lot of fun just to play this and enjoy it. So yeah, just having some fun, playing some games with some. I guess there's an alternate room, so we can go ahead and just.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
Why would that be? I must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith.
I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. Let's see if it
Yes.
works.
Oh, it's a magnet. Oh, Rob, you're so clever. Knew I would have to use that. Mira, so smart.
It's open.
See? And then your mom appears from behind the curtains. No. God, if it was only that easily. Does it appear to be a room?
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
Guido Reni.
Painting of St. Mark
I
from the
did-
collection of the Apostles by Guido Reni.
Alright, the man with the sword. Because that's what it is. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword.
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small
Interesting.
inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Think about the secret code.
So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe? So we
Try
have
this.
the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11.
So I just wasted.
What's the story
just
with these
to have-
pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
I didn't. Okay, fuck that. Alright, that was a waste. Damn it. Anyways.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Huh, so you can't even use the key for it. Well, the key wasn't meant for that either.
The New Testament.
Hold on, before we do that,
I guess I'll just come back later.
I think we could be able to find the clue because it is Paul's word.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni.
Saint John. And the reason I'm doing this
Several portraits of
because I
apostles,
want
all
to
signed
see.
by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Truly magnificent. Oh, my poor attempt at French. So forgive me. Please forgive me for my poor French. Alright, let's read the New Testament. Let's figure out this code. The Gospels and the Gospels. Let's see this. I've got a lot of reading to do. Okay, I'll just start here and just move my way around.
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee and was baptized by John in Jordan. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." And behold, there cometh one of the rulers of the synagogue, Jairus by name. And when he saw him, he fell at his feet.
Indeed. Okay. Move forward to this.
Wherefore,
as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for all have sinned.
Interesting. Really have no idea what to look for here. There could be anything. Hold on. So, each of the things.
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord.
Bible is famous. Writes
A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Hebrews wrote.
Thou hast put all things under his feet, for in that he put all in subjection under him. He left nothing that is not put under him.
Alright, I'm gonna have to probably resort to my original tactic, which was pretty much just do everything.
Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem.
It's amazing how you can read when you're staring like right the fuck up there, dog.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note.
Yes!
I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative. Awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
We'll see if it's possible. Say that. Mother.
And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people.
I swear that's gotta be.
Then they suborned men, which said, We have heard him speak blasphemous words against Moses and against God.
Really tapping into my knowledge here, which is not very much a lot.
And it came to pass the day after that he went into a city
I've already
called
read that
Nain,
one.
and many of his disciples went with him, and much people.
And much people. So much people.
And so many came and couldn't find the body of the Lord Jesus.
I'm on the right.
And so it was that, while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered.
Oh, I know I'm on the right freaking path here, guys.
Take heed that ye practice your justice before men, to be seen differently by them. Otherwise, ye shall have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. But Jesus turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour.
Oh, come on. Who is it? Who is the youngest?
And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went into a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Or what man is there of you, whom, if his son ask bread, will he give him a stone?
I am so lost right now. No idea what to do. Well, I'm about to look this up. Don't you worry.
And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria.
Pick up the package. You know where. And it will know if I did imperative. Awaiting your reply hidden behind you. Of course, it's painting, not really.
I guess I'll just come back later. A drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel. There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
Hold on. Let me reread that.
There's something else behind this painting. It says, half of each group will join the first city of Corinth. What the hell does that mean?
First city of Corinth. Okay. So we will have to. I mean,
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer
really
look.
wish you could
This
skip
is how
some of
Paul
these. If
spoke
you've
to his
already went
pilgrims
through.
from Rome.
That
Just
would help.
above that, someone's written
Me
down
out
the
so
figure 11
significantly right now.
and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Oh, we're gonna figure this out, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry about a thing. I'm just going to.
There's nothing worth noticing here. Little characters are engraved on the chest of drawers under the urn. It's a sentence in Hebrew.
Well, you lacked a Hebrew class.
There are finger marks, deliberately drawn in the dust. 8 in all.
Okay.
No, nothing of value here. It's too cumbersome for me to unhook here, but judging by the dust, it hasn't been moved for months, if not years.
So it can't have been recent. Move away now. Alright. Just gonna keep looking.
St. John, painted by Guido Reni. St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently.
Indeed.
But wasn't my mother said that she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle? Ah, of course. There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete
So
their
fun
rank.
fact, John
What
is
does
the
it
invisible.
mean?
Fun facts. Alright. I guess observe.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Interesting.
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
So one to their left and then one to the right. The one to the left.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Ah, I should have done a lot more studying to the book.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Your lockpicking skills aren't that good, Rob.
Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
So, honestly, nothing of value there, Rob? Okay. I'm very intrigued on what's going to happen further here.
I guess I'll just come back later.
I guess you will. Think about the code. Weird.
On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle. They shall add one companion to their left, and
then
3
there.
to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean?
Hold on. One to the left. The right. One to the left and 3 to the right. Ugh. I have no idea. I'm like stumped. Truly, I am
A
stumped.
chest with the occult symbol representing air.
I'm gonna try one more thing, and then maybe I will take some time later. And try to figure this out.
Amber.
Just Amber fragrance. Let's try one more thing. So, we'll tell them the prophecies.
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini. Of the 4 apostles shown in this piece, Paul is the only one who isn't an evangelist. He is the 13th apostle.
St. Paul is shown holding a sword.
I didn't mean to do that again.
Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. I don't know, what does that mean?
Huh. So we still haven't figured out the whole Doom of Fletcher with this guy. Hold on.
I and my Father are one.
Hold on. Think I may have figured it out.
He that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already,
Try
because
this
he
one last
hath not
time.
believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in Hebrew Golgotha. I and my Father are one.
Yeah, so we got one more.
Now there is a Jerusalem by the sheep market, a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches.
I didn't know Bethesda was Hebrew. Interesting.
And suddenly there came a sound from heaven like a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting. And ye know that he was manifested to take away our sins, and in him is no sin.
Okay.
If we say that we have no sin, we deceive ourselves, and the truth is not in us.
Your amazing reading skills. Astounding. What the fuck?
Hereby know that we dwell in him, and he in us, because he hath given us of his Spirit.
Hmm. Wait, what? I know it's probably screaming at me right now. You guys are probably screaming at me right now for me to figure this out, but honestly, I have no idea
I guess I'll just come back later.
what I'm looking for right now. And yeah, here's what we're gonna do. We are gonna stop this right here, and then we will go ahead and try and figure out another way to engage ourselves into this further. But this is not done, not by a long shot. I am just taking a moment from it. So, without further ado, please like and subscribe and hit the little bell icon to be notified of future events and videos that Darko Center will be doing. I know you guys are waiting for that God of War review, and so am I, so I'm going to totally have to start working on that here pretty soon. But hopefully this will get you guys by with my local content for quite some time. And, yeah. Without further ado, that is my intro, and I'm not doing that now. So again, likes, comments, subscribe, do whatever you guys feel like doing with this channel. And as always, I'm your faithful companion, Darko Center. And I'll see you motherfuckers later.